So in this video, I want to show how to create a VPC on the IBM cloud. This will allow us to deploy other resources like virtual machines and Kubernetes clusters or Red Hat OpenShift clusters into that environment. So let's get started. As you can see here, I'm logged into my IBM Cloud account. This is just the landing page, the dashboard. So I'm going to switch over to the menu and go into Infrastructure, Network, and VPCs. This is going to give me a list of the existing VPCs. All we need to do here is go in and click Create. Now on this screen, we're going to give our VPC a name. As you can see here, we've already defaulted to our Dallas region, which is where I want to be, North America, and then our US South data centers. This will make up a 3-zone VPC within this region. So I'm going to go and give it a name of ADEMO South. And then we're going to select a resource group that we'll deploy into. And then we can additionally give some additional tags and access management tags for anything that related to basically just giving notes for the type of environment, or also anything related to permissions that we want to allow or deny within the VPC that gets created. As you can see here, we've got our default ACL rules of allow all. We'll just leave that as be. We can always adjust that later after the VPC is created. We've got a default security group that will get created, and we can go ahead and select allow SSH or allow ping to that security group if we wanted. We don't need that for this scenario today. So I'm just going to leave those unchecked. And then also you can see it's giving us a default address prefix for each of the zones down below. So it's going to create the 3 subnets, subnet 1, 2, and 3, with these address prefixes or blocks that would be able to be created. I actually don't want to create these /18s for the address prefix, and I also don't want to utilize this IP address. I'm just going to go ahead and define my own. So we'll show how that is handled. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck that. And then we're going to just go over here and click Create. That's going to go off and create a new VPC. So let's go ahead and just search for the one that we created. So ADEMO South, this is the one that we just created. I'm going to go ahead and click into it. And you can see the details here. It's got our name, our VPC ID, and all the information. So this will be the default ACL, the routing table assigned to it, as well as the security group that got ultimately created for it. And then down here, you can see that we have no existing subnets because we did choose not to auto-create those. So let's go ahead and go and create those subnets. Before you create a subnet, actually what you need to do is create an address prefix. So that'll give that block, CIDR block, that would be utilized to then carve out multiple subnets. We're just going to create a single address prefix for each zone for a single subnet that would be created in there as well. So we're just going to go with the normal 192.168.1.0 for zone 1 with a /24. We're going to go ahead and change that to our zone 1 and click Create. So that's going to go off and create that address prefix. And that looks good. So let's go ahead and create the second one. Oops. 192.168.2.0//24. And that will be location 2, zone 2. Go ahead and create that one. That looks good. And we're going to do one more, 3.0/24. And that's going to be zone 3. Create. So again, that's just creating those address prefixes, which then we could go and carve out subnets within each of the zones within those address space. So here we'll go back over to the overview. We can still see here we have no subnets. So let's go ahead and create some subnets. We're going to change this one over to 1 because we want to do that one first. And this is going to be a demo subnet 1. And again, it's asking for a resource group, as well as the tags and access management that we could apply. Want to make sure that we are selected in the VPC that we want, because we did come in from the previous page. It has it auto-selected. We're going to go ahead and carve out all 256 of that /24 into a subnet, and then apply those, tie it to the routing table and subnet that already exists. We have one more option for public gateway. So since in the future we will be deploying some resources in this environment, attaching a public gateway will actually give the ability for those instances to communicate outbound of the VPC without those instances or resources actually having public IP addresses. So when we create virtual machines or Kubernetes clusters in this VPC, we do want them to be able to communicate out, but we don't want to have any public IP addresses on those machines. So we're going to go ahead and turn that on. As you can see, it's going to give it a floating IP for that, so it's going to cost $1 per month. So let's go ahead and create that subnet. And that should then be creating. And we're going to go and create another subnet. So we're going to go back to the US South 2. Let's double check that we're in the correct VPC that we're creating. And we're going to do a subnet 2. And go ahead and put that in that same resource group. We're going to utilize the whole address prefix out of that. And then again, attach another public gateway. Create that one. And let's go ahead and create that third subnet in that third zone. Go ahead and create that. Select that resource group. Again, we're double checking. We're in Demo South 36 and attach the public gateway and create. And that's going to go off and create. So let's jump back over to VPCs and go to Demo South. And we can see here, everything looks good. We've got our subnets. So this VPC is now ready for virtual machines or Kubernetes clusters to be deployed into. Thanks for watching.